There are a couple trades we were watching this week in the EPIQ Trading Floor. So let's go over those trades and see where we're at. First one we're going to be looking at is Bitcoin. We got into a Bitcoin short at 68.2, stop loss at 69.4, and the take profit point on this was 66.8 for take profit 1, 64.7 for TP2. Now for this one, I also added to that position, so I ended up moving my average buy to 68.842, and the stop loss moved up to 71K. So we'll keep that in mind. Average buy-in 68.842. Stop loss 71K. And this is currently how the trade is playing out. This green light is going to be the average entry. First entry is going to be down here. Second entry going to be up here. So average in this zone. Price obviously started to play down after this weakness. We broke out of the rising wedge. We created a higher high in terms of price action, but we were creating lower highs on the MACD and on volume, which are all signs of a regular bearish divergence, which would be one of the first signs of a trend reversal. And as you can see, price is moving down. We've already passed the take profit 1 point. Now I took profit at that zone, closed about 50% of the trade, taking 24% profit. And you can see close price showing that I did close that trade. And I also moved my trailing stop loss on this trade into break even. This was about a day ago. And then obviously today it started to play down even more. So I just took another round of profit at about 65.347. And then I moved my trailing stop loss to take profit 1 so we can secure the gain. So at the worst, I'm going to make another 25% on the trade and it'll fully close. And at the best, this can continue to go down until we'll find out. Which, by the way, if you want to get access to all of these trades, go check out the EPIQ Trading Floor. I'll leave the link in the description and also tag it in the video if you're watching this on YouTube. And that also does come with a 3-day risk-free trial. So you'll see when you land on the homepage, click the trial. You'll be able to choose between monthly or annual. You get 2 months for free by going the annual route. Start the trial, and then you'll be able to get access to the buy and sell signals, the trading academy, the trading floors, members only app, trade alerts, tools, you name it. Everything is basically all included in one. Now the next trade we're going to be looking at is going to be SUI, SUI. Now when this was posted, we were looking at an entry of about $2.06, saying that when this actually did break to the downside of this trend, to look for a short position. Short take profit, basically anything under $1.35 down to $1.20, which we're still far from there, but we have started to break that trend. Since we have broken out of the trend, this is the 4-hour on SUI. We've already had about an 11% move in price, or 11% dip in price. Now, all in all, I am aiming to the downside into this pocket because I want to be able to get a little bit more SUI at a better price going into the super cycle. I think this loading zone can be ideal for a buy-in opportunity for SUI. And then if it does hold this can hold the harmonics of the Fibonacci. If you want to find that out, you can go join the EPIQ Trading Floor, and I have all the information posted there. But this can theoretically get to take profit 2 or take profit 3 if we do bounce all the way down to this zone. And the third trade we were watching was going to be Aerodrome Finance. This was also going to be for a short, watching this to the downside, looking at the same kind of potential, going to a golden pocket, an ideal load up zone, going into the next part of the super cycle or the next wave of the bull run, where Bitcoin goes 120,000 or higher, in my personal opinion. But as you can see, there's a lot of downside and potential for healthy retracement going into that cycle if you know how the Fibonacci works. And since that video has been released, we did break out of that rising wedge, pretty similar situation. I would say this one has been bleeding a lot faster than SUI was. So far, since breaking out of the trend, it's had about an 18% play. So if you got into a short there, you could be potentially looking at about a 189% move. Now I am watching maybe for some potential upside swing before we actually get all the way down. So if that does happen, and we test some sort of major SR flip zone or confirm some sort of resistances, maybe from this side, there's basically a sell wall at $1.26. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and could potentially be 7 resistance tests at that area. So I'd be watching for a little quick bounce, or a relief bounce is what we like to call it, before we continue to push down. And then again, if you want to see that long-term play, if it does get down here and we accumulate going into the next super cycle, then that take profit 3 is very probable, and that would be an exponential gain of 200 to 300%. So if you want to check that out, that is in the EPIQ Trading Floor as well. And I also wanted to highlight that I did make a little change on the trend pages, so now they are trend signals instead of trade signals, and everything on here is going to go by bearish and bullish to give a little more push and incentive on what direction to trade. Now there's a whole video on this stuff, so definitely go check that out. But I just wanted to give everyone the update and let them know that the 24/7 signals did get updated to bullish and bearish, but they're still keeping the same times, 1 hour, 4 hour daily. And this would wrap up the video on all the trades we've been looking at this week on the EPIQ Trading Floor. I hope you all have an amazing morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on whatever you tune in the world, and I'll see you on the next video.